Hey friends, Future Lee here. We're actually back at home now, but we forgot to do an intro and outro for these reviews, but we wanted to give you an overview of what we thought of the Santa Fe Hotel at Disneyland Paris, an overview of the room, and we will caveat this and say we've actually got an overview of two different rooms. Now, firstly, the one at the beginning of the video is a room with a double bed and bunk beds, basically fit for a family of four with 2 adults, 2 kids. That wasn't the room we booked though, so we went to the front desk and we essentially asked to change rooms and went to the room that we had booked, and that was the room with 2 double beds. So because of that, we've got 2 overviews for you. We're not going to let that affect our thoughts and feelings of the room, the resort, everything as a whole, but it just is great so you guys can see what those rooms look like in both different situations. So whether you do have 2 adults, 2 kids, or, well, if you don't even need that, if you want to just stay in a bunk bed, happy days. But then you've got the option for the 2 double beds as well. Now, they do try and put you in the relevant room based on your party's occupancy. So if there's 2 adults, they're going to put you in the room with 1 double bed anyway. That's what we were told. But I'm sure there's an opportunity to request that. So as I said, I'm going to give you guys an overview of both the rooms, and then at the wrap up of the video, we're going to give you an idea of what we thought of it based on 4 categories that we came up with and give a rating. So those categories are comfort, cleanliness, amenities, and location. So you've got those 4 categories, and then we'll give you an overall review of the resort as a whole and the rooms. So if you do enjoy the video throughout and it gives you an idea as to whether you should book Santa Fe for your family vacation, give us a thumbs up. Do appreciate it. It really does help us out a lot, and it'd be great if you could hit the subscribe button and bell icon to be notified when we post all new videos. Let's go and have a look at those rooms. So here we are, room 40. And in we go. Ooh, interesting. Not sure this is the room that I've booked. But as we come in, we've got a double bed. We've got bunk beds as well. I'm not sure I booked the bunk beds. TV, little unit there. Plug sockets all throughout the room. Plug sockets everywhere. Cool linens on the bed actually, with the runner, the car's runner throughout, and the car's theming all around the top. It's very warm in here as well actually, isn't it? It's like quite warm. You've got a fair amount of space under the bed. I'll give you a bit of a review once we've finished. And then you've got this cool mirror here in the bathroom. Cars themed shampoo, shower gel, and you've got a tub extending shower combo. Hairdryer on the wall, and that's kind of the full extent of it. We got a wardrobe unit there as well, and you can have connecting rooms. It's quite interesting. Bit confused by this because I don't think I booked a room that has bunk beds in. Pretty sure I booked a room with 2 beds in it, not bunk beds, so that's confusing, but hey ho, it is what it is. But that's our room, and I'll let you guys know what we think of it after we've stayed in here a few days. Okay, so we are checking into room 120 here at the Hotel Santa Fe. Just having a look around at the room.
Are you having a look at the room?
Try and put some lights on in here. There we go. So we are in. As we come in, we've got the little storage area here to the left-hand side. We've got the desk, we've got the 2 double beds in here as well, which is quite nice. Having the 2 double beds means we've got a little bedside table to share there in the middle. You got small seating area, TV, and a chest of drawers. The decor around the room is very nice with the cars border going around the top. You've got the little cones, and here on the wall we've got Mater sleeping in a little shed, which is quite cute. You got the runner on the bed as well, all of those Cars characters on the bed, which is really great to see. And then as we move into the bathroom, it's nice bathroom with the mirror surround on there. You've got little Cars Hotel Santa Fe themed cups, and everything Santa Fe themed. You got Cars piston cup, Lightning McQueen shampoo, and then you got conditioner as well. You got a bath shower combo there with the removable shower head, and just a pretty nice room overall. Obviously fairly cheap feeling, but quite a nice room. See what the beds are like, and we'll let you know how we feel once we've slept in those for a few days. So that is an overview of a twin room essentially here at the Hotel Santa Fe. Alright, so we have finished our stay. We're actually back home right now because we didn't record this at the time, but wanted to give you guys a little bit of an idea of our thoughts and feelings after staying at the Santa Fe Hotel for a few nights. So Disney Resort, Disney owned resort on Disneyland property, within walking distance of Disneyland Park and Walt Disney Studios, so you're in a fairly good location. So we're going to give you the ratings that we've got, and they're based on comfort, cleanliness, amenities, and location of the resort itself. So firstly, we want to talk about the comfort of the resort. Now, we've given that a 5. Now, the reason we've given that a 5 is essentially just because the room is quite cold and bland. It's very much just boxy. Small beds as well, just a double bed. The first room that we were in has the double and the bunk beds. The second room, the 2 double beds. As we said at the top there, that's not necessarily going to affect our rating for it or anything, but you know, that depends on what you have and what your family situation is like, whether you need the 2 beds with a group of 4 people, let's say, or whether you've got 2 adults and 2 kids, you have the bunk beds as well. But overall, we're going to give comfort a 5. The room just feels really cold and quite bland. It's cool that it's got the Cars theming, and that is a pretty good theme to the hotel as a whole, but there's just not enough to it. It's kind of just the border around the top that you've got, and a picture on the wall and a couple of little decorations here and there, but it's not enough that it actually makes you feel like you're in a proper Disney resort. It just feels cheap. Now granted, it is the cheapest hotel, so we're going to give that a 5 overall. Cleanliness of the room, pretty self-explanatory what we think of the room. We're going to give it a 6. We're kind of going to lump this in a little bit with like the maintenance and the upkeep of the room, the resort as a whole. The room just was a little bit tired, a little bit dated and things like that. So we're giving it a 6 on cleanliness. Not to say the room was unclean, but you know, round the tops of the TV and things like that, there was bits of dust and whatnot. So they could do with updating the cleaning a little bit, but it wasn't particularly unclean, and that's why we're giving it a 6. So next we're moving on to amenities. Now, amenities in the resort, what you have staying in this resort. And quite frankly, it's not a lot. It really isn't a lot. When you've got pools at Sequoia, Hotel New York, Newport Bay, things like that, this doesn't really have a lot going for it. There's a very, very small play area in the restaurant area. You've got a shop, but other than that, there's nothing else. You've got your transportation to the park, but there's nothing really that draws you to this resort as an added extra for your stay. So for amenities, we're going to give the resort and the room as a whole a 5. Now, one bonus that you do get staying at a Disney property is you actually get a free hot drink. We didn't know about this until the second or third day. You get a free hot drink with your Magic Pass that you just touch to the vending machine. So that's pretty cool. It's a nice little perk, but there's just not enough here at the resort to justify choosing this resort over something like Cheyenne or Sequoia or anything like that. And then finally, we're moving on to the location. Now, location's a pretty funky one because you're on Disney property still, you're within walking distance, but we kind of thought of this as the rating system of distance from the parks. Now, the Disneyland Hotel right over the top of the park entrance, obviously that would be a 10, right? And then you'd look at Hotel New York as a 9. You'd look at Newport Bay as an 8 or a 9. And then you've got Sequoia, which will be pretty similar rating to that. So what we're going to do, we're going to give location for Santa Fe a 7. Because you're still on Disney property, you're still within walking distance. It takes you about 10 minutes from room to security entrance, which is pretty good, and that's just average walking pace as well. But because you're still on Disney property, you're there pretty quick. If we were off of Disney property in Val d'Europe or something like that, or even at the Holiday Inn that we stayed at, if you haven't seen the Holiday Inn video, I'll put a link up in the top corner so you guys can go and check that out. That was a nice resort off property that we'd recommend. Somewhere like that then starts to drop down the list of 6, 5, 4, etc. the further you are away. So we're going to give that a 7 overall. You're still in a nice location, but you're not right there, right at the front. So it's a nice walking distance to the park still. So overall, that means we are giving it, with everything added up and then divided by the 4 categories, a 5.75. Not a terrible resort at all, but it's not somewhere I think we would necessarily go again, especially for the cost that we paid for the resort, even with pass holder discount as well. Those Disney premiums, are they worth it compared to staying at somewhere like the Holiday Inn or the Explorers Hotel or something like that? Obviously you can be the judge of that. But hopefully that's given you a good idea as to whether you should stay here at the Santa Fe and what it would be like for your family and how you'd find the experience. So if you did enjoy the video throughout, give us a thumbs up. I do appreciate it. It really does help us out a lot. And it would be great if you could hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified when we post all new videos. We'll see you on the other side. Thanks.